guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my channel for another video. I'm so glad that you decided to click on this video and join me for a few minutes. While you're here, please don't forget to click the subscribe button and leave a thumbs up or thumbs down. We accept both over here. Make sure you guys leave me comments and follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter down below. So yes, I'm really excited for today's video. I'm going to be doing another kind of like a follow-up video of my Nashville series. I actually have a couple of videos planned out to talk about like my life here in Nashville, how it was like adjusting and all of that different thing. So if you guys care about my life here in Nashville, what I think about it, some assumptions and all of that good stuff, then make sure you guys continue to watch. So the first assumption I had about Nashville was that there was going to be country music or some type of country music theme everywhere that I went. Like, I thought I was not going to be able to turn on the radio station and not hear country music. I thought I was going to be driving down the road and hear country music. I thought that the trees were going to sing country music. I was terrified. I was like, I have nothing against country music. I actually love some country songs. Not my genre of music that I want to hear all the time. And of course I have my phone and I can play my music in my car and live my life. But I thought like when you go into grocery stores, you're going to be hearing country. Like, I literally thought I was not going to be able to escape the country music theme that is this town of Nashville, because Nashville is literally the country music capital. So when I got here, it was so far from the truth. We never hear like country music. Like, we're never on Broadway or like Church Street or stuff like that, or when we do go down there, it's just normal. Like, it's not like country music playing out of speakers while you're driving. Well, that's kind of what I thought, which is ridiculous, but that's really what I thought. So if you are not the biggest country music fan, or if it's just something that you just do not want to hear all the time, and you're kind of scared to move to Nashville, fret no more. You will not be bombarded with country music unless you want to be. There's definitely lots of country music like theme things, and there's lots of like parks and museums and stuff like that. If that is your thing, there's definitely lots of that for you. But if it's not, then you'll be just fine. The second assumption I had about Nashville was that there was going to be absolutely nothing to do. Not that I come from the most amazing and exciting city in Alabama. I don't necessarily. It's getting a little better. I'm proud of home. But I mean, I truly was like, what is there to do in Nashville? What am I going to do here? You guys, like, it's not like I get out and do a lot of stuff anyway, but I truly feel like that there's a lot of stuff to do. We visit like Green Hills and Franklin a whole lot. Those are our two like main spots, and then there's always like something cute going on in Nashville. Since COVID has happened, of course, all of that has slowed down, but on a normal basis, like in the summertime, you have like outdoor theaters, and then you have like, they have these big different like theme things downtown. We like to go to Franklin. They have lots of fun stuff there. So there are things to do. I think if you have like a family or like a nice group of friends, I think you would absolutely love living here, because there's so many restaurants and brunch spots and like just little things here and there to go to, farmers markets, just all types of things. So there's definitely things to do here in Nashville. So if you're like me and you thought that Nashville was just going to be a big dry land of boring, then fret no more. There's stuff to do here in Nashville. So the third assumption that I had about Nashville was that it was going to be slow and steady. Where I come from, we're not necessarily like dragging a wagon, but it's definitely slow, it's definitely steady. It's very chill. Like, I think the speed on like the interstate is like 55. Like, that is like the max speed, and if you get too close to that, then you might actually even get pulled over if you're doing like probably 53, you know, whatever. So there's definitely a slow southern feel being from that part of being from central Alabama, definitely. And so I thought I was going to get that coming to Nashville, because I did absolutely no research on Nashville before I came here, you guys. I will tell you that. Like, we made the decision to move here, and then we started like looking for apartments. Like, literally, that is how it happened. Like, I didn't know where we were going to live. Well, we didn't know where we were going to live, like what we were going to do, where I was going to work. Like, that it just did not happen like that. Like, you guys, I literally was getting ready to, I came up here with D for a job interview, and I was getting ready to apply at Jamba Juice. Like, legit. Honestly, Funny story, when I first came up here with Dee on her job interview and I saw Jamba Juice from the interstate, I was like, oh my gosh, they have Jamba Juice. I'm like, okay, I'm excited to move here now. And I was actually ready to move and to work at Jamba Juice for like $11 an hour. Like, that was my life. Luckily, I did not have to do that. No diss to anybody that works at Jamba Juice, but luckily I didn't have to do that. So, but yeah, I thought it was gonna be super slow, super steady. And when I got here, there was a culture shock. Like, you guys, if you are thinking that you're gonna come here and be able to like just chill and relax, yes, it's definitely a vibe here, but Nashville is fast. Like, they drive fast here, they're all over the place. People are a little bit rude here. I mean, I've run into nice people, of course, but there are some Rudy patooties here. Like, you would think, I'm like, am I in Atlanta? Am I in New York City? Am I in LA? Like, baby, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? There's some little Rudy patooties here. So, but for the most part, people are decently, you know, attitudinal, I guess. But yeah, it's not necessarily slow and steady. Nashville definitely has a fast pace. It's definitely picking up. I feel like every month or every couple of months, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, where are these people coming from? Like, there's definitely an influx of people in Nashville, so it's definitely growing. So if you want to get here and get your spot, I say, honey, get your bags, pack them, and you need to get up in here because it's definitely getting crowded and it's definitely getting faster by the minute. The first assumption I had about Nashville was that I thought it was going to be hot here. I'm sorry, I thought we were in a southern state. No, like, guys, it gets freezing cold here. If you're from anywhere like Florida, Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, or whatever, and you think you're gonna move to Tennessee and gonna get that nice, you know, summer vibe and stuff mostly around the year, no ma'am. It snows here. It rains like nobody's business. On the day we moved here, it rained. If you guys want me to tell my story about us moving here, I will definitely do that. Make sure you guys give this a thumbs up and let me know down in the comments below. If I can get 50 likes on this video, I will do the video about us moving here. It was one of the most just saddest, exciting moments of my life. But let me know if you guys really want that video. But yeah, like, it rains all the time. It's always raining here. And when I tell you, when it rains, you guys, it rains. And Dee had a friend that told her that. He was like, well, when it rains, it pours. Like, it rains a lot. And I'm like, okay, just a little rain. Like, it's fine. I actually love rain. So I'm like, it'll be fine. No. When I tell you, if it rains here, you can expect it to rain like 3 days straight. Like, it rains all the time. It's freezing cold here, especially in the fall and the winter time. It snows like crazy. I absolutely hate it. So if you're one of those people that like summer all around or spring all around, Nashville is definitely not the place for you. Tennessee is definitely not the place for you. It gets freezing cold. It snows. I hate it. If you love it, then this is the place for you. But I guess I don't hate it because I'm still here, right? And I love it here. So, but honestly, I don't care for the weather. I like it to be warm most of the year round, but I guess it's growing on me. Not yet, but it's growing. And the fifth and final assumption that I had about Nashville is that I thought that I was going to be making the change, okay? And yes and no. I have had, the job I got when I first got here, I was making $15 an hour, and where I come from, making $15 an hour is like bomb, honey. You feel me? Like, you doing it big. And I mean, it was enough for me to be okay when we first got here. And then I ended up getting a raise like 3 months in, and I got a raise to like $19, which was amazing. I was so thankful. But that job was with a temp agency, so that was not my, you know, consistent rate or my consistent hourly pay. It dropped down to $17 when they offered me a permanent role, and I'm like, well, I don't want a permanent role and making less money. Like, sis, what's up? But you know, that is kind of the game. If you are willing to do like lots of temp jobs and stuff, and I know somebody asked in a video, and I need to do like an updated Q&A to my Q&A video. Like, I got lots of questions on that video, but honestly, you guys, making $15 back home in Alabama versus making $15 here in Nashville, it's not the same. Like, Nashville is really, really expensive, and I've said this in my other videos. Like, if you're going to move here, you definitely need to consider getting a roommate. You definitely need to consider, like, not necessarily staying in Nashville, but kind of staying in the little surrounding cities, because it gets really expensive here. And I'm pretty sure you can probably find jobs, depending on your major or depending on what you want to do, you can find jobs that will pay you like that change. But your girl needed something, she needed it quick, you know what I'm saying? And that was just not the case for me. I ended up leaving my first job, and then I got another job that actually paid me decently, but it was terrible, it was so trash. And so I ended up having to quit that job, and I was a server, and I was making my tips, but I was surviving because I quit the job. And then now I work where I work now, and I get paid enough to not drown. Do your research. Definitely, if you can get a roommate, get one. If you don't have to, then don't worry about it. But I will definitely say that don't come up here thinking you're gonna make like 60K. Unless you have that kind of major and you've got that kind of experience, then yes. But if you're just fresh out of college, trying to get your feet wet, and you've got kind of like a general major, like mine was IT, but I wasn't getting a job in IT because I didn't have a lot of IT experience and I didn't have any certifications. So if you're starting from the ground floor, then just expect to make in your low to mid 30s. All right, you guys, so those were my top 5 assumptions about Nashville before I moved here. Let me know if you live here and if you had some assumptions of your own, or let me know if you live anywhere else in the world and you have an assumption of Nashville. And let me know if you've even ever heard of Nashville, or you're just like, girl, what are you talking about? Where is that? So I'm really excited to see the comments that you guys leave down below. If you guys have any questions for me, please let me know down in the comments below. Like I said, please subscribe and leave a like or a dislike. I do accept both. And make sure you guys leave in comments and follow me on my social media video. I will see you in my next one. Bye.